Hey everyone, Pushing Up Roses here, and welcome to another exhilarating episode of That Time on Murder, She Wrote. Today's episode comes from another Twitter suggestion. It reads, watching the craziest episode of Murder, She Wrote where Jessica battles fur coat Captain Janeway on an airplane, and all I can think of is how Pushing Up Roses will do mad, crazy, good things with this much material. Well, thank you for the faith in me. I really appreciate that. Interestingly, I have been casually watching Voyager over the last few months, so I was curious about Kate Mulgrew's performance. She has a voice I could listen to all day, and she really knows how to wear this weird-ass hairstyle, so I was keen to watch this episode. I also like the closed circle trope, especially when the plot takes place on a boat, train, or plane. It gives that sense of truly being trapped, even if you have modern communication devices with you. No matter what, you're stuck in the air, though I have to say that my favorite place for a whodunit or a cozy murder mystery is a museum. There's just so much you can do. You can stuff the corpses in coats of armor, you can hang decapitated heads in the life mask room, and you can also admire some fantastic art while you're being chased by a homicidal maniac with a medieval torture device. It's fun for the whole family. As the title of the episode suggests, someone is going to die on this plane. Literally in first class. Even when you're a corpse, you're still gonna want to head into the afterlife in comfort. As we begin the episode, we see Kate Mulgrew's character, a famous actress named Sunny Greer, admiring some expensive-looking jewels and wearing this lavish white outfit. Ooh, girl. She plans to wear this fancy pants necklace to a London gala and gives it to her bodyguard/lover to hold on to. Ooh, girl! Mulgrew is already getting more action than she ever did on Voyager. Although that kiss leaves something to be desired. I know this is for television, but that is quite the lip smash. Everyone flying to London meets up in the Fancy People Lounge beforehand, and we get to meet some of the main characters. One is a friend of Sunny's who is flying over to perform some plastic surgery. He tells her that if she ever needs a quick nip and tuck to contact him.
I'm in the yellow pages.
Under criminals. A photographer barrels in to snap some pics of Sunny, only to ram right into the lovely and particularly fashionable Jessica Fletcher, knocking her food onto the floor.
Well, I lost a couple of shrimp puffs along the way.
That might be for the better. I don't even want to think about what a shrimp puff is. She meets Errol Pogson, a member of Scotland Yard who was on holiday in the States. She tells him she's visiting London to do some research on a grisly murder. That's my girl.
Sounds macabre. Must be a writer.
I feel very attacked right now. Errol seems quite smitten with Jessica and goes to buy her a drink. My. She takes this time to observe everyone going to London. Honestly, she already seems over it, judging by this expression, and I would be too if my flight consisted of Leisure Suit Larry and the stereotypical odd couple. The lounge lizard, Gunnar Global, is trying to recruit people for his new film by showing them the script. He, of course, tries to appeal to Sunny first, saying that they had met at Robert Redford's resort. As if.
Yes, the man in the green plaid parka with the white sunscreen all over your nose.
It was Coke. They board the plane, and poor Jessica is seated right next to Gunnar, who is going over his script.
Level with me. Are you anybody?
Sir. After Jess establishes that she is in fact somebody, he asks her to read his script, and Jessica goes for it because she'd rather read his damn script than listen to him bitch all night.
Off-road aliens, the second coming.
Oh god. This woman seems to be hiding something in her knitting bag, and I don't think it's a scarf, and Sunny's bodyguard, Leon, is having problems with flight anxiety. This is looking like the flight from hell, and they're still taxiing.
Leon, it is safer than being in a car.
Then let's drive to London.
No, Leon. The safer thing is to be in the plane, because it's safer than driving, so why would you... forget it, he's stressed. He quickly adjourns to the bathroom.
Excuse me.
My ass is sweating as much as my face right now. Not only are the travelers nervous, the stewardess also seems to be out of sorts.
Yes, please. I'll have a medium dry sherry if I may.
This is a V8. Finally, the in-flight movie! Gunnar seems to be enjoying it.
You don't really wanna love me tender. How can I be sure you're not pretender?
So, this guy is dead. Leon, no, we hardly knew ye, because you had no lines. Maybe he was just so stressed out about his Walkman not working earlier that his heart just gave up. The doctor seems to think it was a heart attack, but that all goes out the window when Sunny realizes the necklace he was carrying is gone.
One of you is a murdering thief.
Errol expresses that since he's a part of Scotland Yard, he's willing to search the plane and question potential suspects. Jessica, of course, offers to help.
The fact is I'm a bit up in the air at the moment.
Did he just pun? Did he? And Jess giggled at it. See, I knew she was awesome. Awesome people chortle at puns. He tells her that he's been with the Yard for 25 years, but never got promoted because he played it too safe. If he finds the necklace and the killer, it could mean a promotion to Chief Inspector. Jess sympathizes with this and helps him with the search, even volunteering to go first. I think she has a bit of a crush, but British accents do tend to do that to a person.
Miss Greer, there is just one question.
Isn't your name also a type of cheese? Who the fuck is Leisure Suit Larry on the phone with? He's just happily rambling away. Sir, there's been a murder. What are you doing? While Errol is searching the other suspects, Jess goes to inspect the body.
Well, there doesn't appear to be any sign of a wound.
Well, this isn't skin, Miss Fletcher. This is a coat. She finds a blue coloring under his nails, which indicates poisoning. She also goes over the ticketing information, checking to see which people purchased their tickets to see if it lined up with knowing about the expensive jewels being on board. She also mentions that the stewardess was preoccupied, and perhaps there was a reason for that.
Oh, yes. She stuck me with a tomato juice.
Oh, it really was V8. Ugh. It's revealed that the stewardess changed her shift last minute so she could specifically be on this flight, but why? Is she a jewel thief?
Well, the man I'm going with is a pilot for another airline. He's flying into London this weekend.
Bernie? Bernie's been seeing me in Paris.
What?
Oh my, feel the burn indeed. They do find a necklace in the stewardess's bag, but it's a fake. Just wait until Bernie hears about this. Clearly someone planted a decoy. Janeway is like, take it away! Meanwhile, this woman is gripping her knitting bag. Ooh, I wonder what kind of incriminating evidence she's hiding. Money, jewels, a weapon, maybe a dagger. It'd be funny if there was just like a puppy in there.
Sorry, Bert. We couldn't help it.
Oh my god, it is a puppy!
Puppies.
They were just trying to smuggle an adorable puppy out of the country. Oh, what a good boy. Who's a good boy? Anyway, back to the search, but not before Errol asks Jessica on a date.
What do you say to dinner tomorrow night at the Savoy Grill?
You're on.
You know, I really enjoy seeing Jessica get asked out on dates. It doesn't happen often on this series because that's not really the point. Jess is always portrayed as very independent, but it gives me hope that I will also land some dates when I'm in my 60s. I'll also probably still be on YouTube covering this series, which I'm sure is a major turn-on for people. Errol looks through some of the previous ticketing records and notices a passenger named Otto Hardwick that booked every possible flight Sonny could have taken to London, and he had an opportunity to steal the necklace as he had bumped into Leon earlier in the evening. As they search Hardwick, Jess recalls hearing an electric razor in the bathroom, then seeing him exit. Seems harmless enough, but if he was using an electric razor, then why the shaving cream? Aha, the can has a fake bottom. Go Jessica, she shaved the day. Errol asks Agnes for some spare wool, which he uses as handcuffs? Really, handcuffs. Turn around, you're under kindergarten arrest. Hardwick admits to stealing the necklace and to killing Leon, which Jessica is rather surprised by. Sensing something is off, she hops over to the phone to make a call to Scotland Yard just as the plane is landing.
Mrs. Fletcher, the landing gear is down. You must return to your seat.
Shut the fuck up, Fred. Turns out that Errol was a former detective at Scotland Yard. He never did get promoted, so he decided to leave and join the other side. I'm surprised Jessica caught this at all because the plan was so airtight. Hardwick would swap the necklace unnoticed, and if something were to go wrong, or if Sonny had noticed, Errol would just pretend to solve the case, arrest him, and make off with the jewels. Unfortunately, Leon had the audacity to get murdered and screw up a perfectly good heist. Jess knew that a skilled thief would never admit to a murder and didn't believe he'd resort to violence, especially since he had no motive. He had the necklace, so why confess? What a mistake. You really screwed this one up for Errol, Hardwick. He could have had the necklace and a date with J.B. Fletcher. It's too bad because even after Jess solves the theft, I can tell he's still into her. Damn it, he has such a smooth English accent. Go after him, Jess. Lead a life of crime. His chocolatey voice is worth it.
I'm only sorry we suddenly find ourselves on different sides.
Why do all of these criminals fall for Jess anyway? It seems like she can't have a normal person express interest in her. They're either thieves, creepos, or murderers. I guess when you're as intelligent and classy as Jess, you attract people of all sorts. So who killed Leon then? Well, This is where it gets a little weird. Jess confronts Sunny and accuses her of murder. She's right, of course, and because Sunny murdered him, it made finding the thieves easier. She actually took the necklace to plant it elsewhere to make it seem like somebody murdered Leon to steal it, but Hardwick had already swapped it out at this point, which was why Sunny was so surprised to see a fake. She slipped some poison into Leon's drink when he was sleeping, but why? It's slightly unbelievable to me that Jess could figure out the method without knowing the motive beforehand. It turns out that Leon was cheating on her, and Sunny just wanted to kill him before he could publicly humiliate her. This actually wraps up so quickly that I had to re-listen to what Jess was saying.
You're right, Mrs. Fletcher.
You are now sentenced to 75 years aboard a starship in the Delta Quadrant. Well, that's wrapped up, but whatever happened to Gunnar Global, the sleazy guy trying to get everyone to read his script? Well, Jessica tells him that she read it, and it was poetic and artsy, and that it would do very well in art theaters.
Anything to declare, sir?
Yes. This is the done.
Okay, I don't know why, but that legit made me laugh. Right, final thoughts. This was a pretty good episode, but once again, on the serious side. It made for a really interesting whodunit case with limited characters and settings, and the fact that two crimes happened and also gave each other away was really fun. I still don't really know how Jess concluded that Sunny was the murderer. It really could not have been the other suspects, and Bert is obviously innocent, so perhaps she figured out with process of elimination. It wasn't as absurd as I expected it to be. In fact, it was very straightforward. I thought perhaps Kate Mulgrew would chew the scenery a little bit more, or Gunnar would have more of a comedic presence, but everything is kind of spread out. The best part about this episode is the heist plot. I liked that Jess not only figured out the real heist, she figured out the fake heist. Nobody pulls a fast one on Jessica Fletcher. Overall, I did enjoy this one, though I do think it lacked some excitement. It is restricted to being on a plane, so there's only so much you can introduce to a story like this, but I think I was desiring just a little bit more action. And there was not enough Kate Mulgrew, hands down. More Kate Mulgrew. Remember Mrs. Columbo? What the heck was that all about? If there's an episode of Murder, She Wrote you are dying to see me cover, please leave me a suggestion. I clearly take them seriously. Until then, happy sleuthing. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this episode of That Time on Murder, She Wrote. If you liked it and want to watch more, I encourage it, and if you really liked it, then I encourage tipping me for my efforts on Patreon. Yes, Patreon, where you can help me buy coffee to inject directly into my veins. If you can't afford that, no worries. Likes, comments, and shares also churn my butter. If you want to watch more of my work before subscribing, then here's some recommendations. On the right, we have another Murder, She Wrote recap, and on the left, I have a video about King's Quest, because every now and then, I like to cover some good old adventure games. Thanks again, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.